Two examples in 8.4. We don't have to calculate median and IQR. The only thing 8.4 is doing now is it's taking us a step further, and it wants us to make comparisons based on the data that we're given. Okay? So example 1 looks like it has a lot going on, but literally all I'm doing is comparing samples. Okay? Do you guys remember when we talked about biased versus unbiased? All right? And we said if a sample is large and random, represents the whole population, then it's unbiased. Okay? So we need to keep that in mind when we read this. It says 2 bags each contain 1,000 numbered tiles. The double box and whisker plot right here, okay? All right, represents a random sample of 12 numbers from each bag. Compare the samples using measure of center. So I gave you the measure of center, the medians, and variation. Here's the question. Can you determine which bag contains tiles with greater numbers? All right, now, if I were just to ask you which median is higher, well, which median's higher between the two data sets? Bag A. I can clearly see that, right? So my answer should be, well, clearly bag A has all their medians higher. Bag A has greater valued tiles, right? That's a no-brainer. Why can't I draw that conclusion? Remember what I just said about biased and unbiased, and look back at the problem. What do you see? What's the sample? What's the sample?
Oh, it's a random 12 numbers.
How many?
12.
How many tiles are in the bags? Is that accurate? No, because it's not big enough. Okay? So, my answer could and should have been, if that had said 400, okay, then I would have said, absolutely, bag A has tiles of greater value because my medians are all higher. Do you see that? That would have been an easy answer. Bag A, because all the medians are greater. The reason I can't is because the sample size is way too small. So it's just, guys, it's just a matter of looking at it and saying, okay, can I not actually calculate? I'm not actually calculating it. I'm just saying, is this a good sample? And no, it's not, because it's too small. That's literally all you do in example 1.
Wow.
Okay? All right, example 2. Modeling real life. We're going to answer some questions, okay, about speeding tickets in 2 different states. Let me ask you this to start. Which state would you rather get pulled over in? Why?
Neither.
Because all the median ticket values are what? They're less. Okay? So all you have to do is draw that comparison, and I give you the medians. What's the median ticket value in state A? 54, about 54. Okay, it's down there. It's down there. Okay, and what about state B? 70. So I'm going to say state A has a lower median ticket cost than state B. Okay? Okay, but how does their variability differ? Which state has the greater range or variability of ticket cost? What do you think? Look at the IQRs. Look at the IQRs. I already gave it to you. But state A has a bigger range of values, right? So there we go. There's my comparisons. It says compare the cost of speeding tickets. That's all I had to do. I just had to compare them. Tell me which one has the higher ticket averages. Okay? So here's where the mean can throw us off. What if state A had this like one speeding infraction that they say, you do this and you're going to get nailed with a $500 ticket? And I tried to do the mean. Okay? If that value is way up here, guess what it's going to do to all these values if I'm doing the mean? It's going to pull them all up, although all the rest of the tickets in state A actually were less. So that's why the mean is usually not factored in. We do medians. because then my whisker just would have been longer. Okay, for those outliers. All right, so let me just make sure I'm not missing anything on that one before I turn off the video. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So you can conclude that the cost of speeding tickets varies more in State 8 and had a higher IQR, but speeding tickets generally cost more in State B, which I just said the opposite, that State A had the lower cost of speeding tickets. All right, and that's all we need to know from 8.4.
Do we have to do 8.4?
There's 4 questions from each section.
Oh,
Okay, so but that's everything you need to know from 8.4.